The premiere episode of Pluribus, Vince Gilligan's latest series starring Rhea Seehorn, begins with a strange mix of mystery, humor, and fear that instantly draws you in. This new Apple TV show feels both familiar and fresh. A blend of They Live, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and the slow, burning storytelling Gilligan perfected in Better Call Saul. The episode, titled They Live, starts with chaos, jumps between science labs and quiet streets, and ends with a chilling question. What's really happening to the human race? The story opens with a group of scientists who discover an unusual signal from space. It's a repeating pattern every 78 seconds, coming from 600 light-years away. At first, it feels like a discovery straight out of Contact, where excited astronomers think they've made the first contact with extraterrestrial life. But soon the scene grows darker. The message becomes more complex, and the experiment begins to take an unexpected turn. The passage of time in the episode is cleverly shown through countdowns on the screen, showing how the investigation moves from 1 year out to just over 2 months before something catastrophic happens. The tone changes quickly as scientists begin experimenting on rats, only to realize the animals aren't dying but transforming. One of the rats bites a scientist's glove, and that simple act spreads what becomes the central horror of the episode, a virus that seems to connect all living beings into one collective consciousness. The infection spreads fast, turning humans into eerily cheerful versions of themselves. They aren't violent or monstrous. Instead, they move and speak in harmony, almost like a choir, smiling as they pass on the infection with kisses or casual contact. The calmness of it all is what makes it more unsettling. Then the story shifts focus to Carol Sturka, played brilliantly by Rhea Seehorn. Carol is a best-selling author known for her romantic fantasy series Bloodsong of Waikaro. She's the kind of writer who mocks her own success, famous for creating stories she doesn't really respect. When asked by her driver if he should know who she is, she replies sarcastically, "Depends." Are you a big fan of mindless crap? That one line captures her cynical personality and sets the tone for her journey through this strange, new apocalypse. Carol's world turns upside down when she experiences what seems like an alien invasion. Buildings fall quiet, people act differently, and her partner and manager, Helen, becomes one of the first casualties. The grief and confusion Carol goes through are portrayed with raw intensity. She isn't just fighting to survive. She's trying to understand what's going on around her. Gilligan uses her limited point of view to keep the mystery alive, revealing the invasion through her eyes rather than through news broadcasts or wide-scale destruction. At first, Carol believes aliens have invaded Earth. But when she finally sees an official broadcast featuring a calm man named Davis Taffler, a government representative standing at a White House podium, things take a strange turn. 2 bold messages appear on the TV screen: EYOUR life EESYOROBUN and WE Renat ALIENS. These phrases mirror the subliminal slogans from They Live. Obey Y, Fa Sume, of C on Fo RM, but in a gentler, almost comforting way. Yet their reassurance feels fake, like a soothing lie designed to make people stop asking questions. This eerie calmness runs throughout the episode. Instead of typical sci-fi panic, Gilligan builds tension through politeness and eerie friendliness. The infected people don't chase or threaten Carol. They talk to her with forced smiles, saying things like, "We just want to help, Carol." When she loses her house keys, they kindly tell her where she had hidden a spare years ago. They even leave her alone so she can grieve. But their kindness feels too calculated, too perfect. And that's what makes the show feel deeply unsettling. Carol learns she is one of only 11 people in the world who are immune to the virus. Taffler, the man on TV, explains that the infected population is now connected by a shared consciousness. But even he admits that he doesn't fully understand how it works. Carol, already skeptical by nature, doesn't buy his calm explanations. She knows something about it doesn't make sense. The message, "YOUR life ISEOUROWN," feels like propaganda. For her, the invasion isn't just about survival. It's about resisting conformity, something she's been doing her whole life. Carol's personality makes her perfect for this kind of story. She's used to rejecting what others love. Her readers adore her romantic stories, but she secretly despises them and the shallow culture they represent. She's been trapped by her own popularity, writing books that she considers mindless crap, because that's what sells. In a twisted way, this makes her the perfect person to resist the alien hive mind. She's already immune to mass thinking. Her independence, sarcasm, and refusal to play along make her a natural rebel. Seehorn's performance shines in every scene. She gives Carol a mix of intelligence, exhaustion, and biting humor that makes her fascinating to watch. Even during the chaos, she keeps her sharp tongue. One of her funniest lines comes when she describes a fan from Houston saying, "I think Houston Mom would spread her legs for a grilled cheese sandwich." This dark humor gives the show a unique personality, blending sci-fi tension with grounded sarcasm. Gilligan's direction is equally impressive. The pacing is slow and methodical, but every moment feels deliberate. Instead of overwhelming us with CGI or big explosions, he focuses on details. The flickering of a lab light, the eerie silence of a suburban street, or the calm, smiling faces of the infected. It's a psychological invasion rather than a physical one. The show plays with the idea that maybe these beings aren't evil at all. Maybe they're just offering a new kind of peace. But at what cost? The premiere sets up many unanswered questions. Who sent the original signal? Are these truly aliens? Or has something on Earth evolved into this connected being? Why are only 11 people immune? And what happens when someone refuses to join the collective? The show doesn't rush to explain any of this. Like Better Call Saul, Gilligan prefers to let viewers live in confusion and curiosity. He trusts that we'll stick around to figure it out piece by piece. One of the best parts of the episode is how it mixes massive ideas with small, human moments. Even during an alien takeover, Carol still cares about book sales and airport displays. In one funny scene, she signals Helen to rearrange her books at an airport store so they get better placement. A tiny act of vanity that shows she's still human in the middle of madness. Later, when she watches the world around her change, her heartbreak feels real, not exaggerated. She's angry, terrified, but determined not to lose herself. The writing also includes some clever details that hint at deeper layers. The streak of snack machines not working, the countdown clocks, and the repetition of messages all feel symbolic, like parts of a larger plan. Even Davis Taffler's title, Under Secretary of Agriculture for Farm Production and Conservation, feels like an intentional joke about how random authority becomes in times of crisis. The narration casually notes that he was chosen to speak simply because happened to be nearby and intact, and he was wearing a suit. Gilligan's choice to start with a familiar genre setup, scientists discovering a signal, and turn it into something psychological and darkly funny shows his storytelling genius. He's not just making another alien invasion show. He's exploring how people react when the world tells them to stop thinking for themselves. The message, YOUR life ISYORWN, becomes both comforting and threatening, depending on who's saying it. By the end of the episode, Carol stands alone, angry but unbroken. She knows the world has changed, but she refuses to give in. The collective may claim that everyone is now on, but she's determined to stay herself. Her final look of defiance suggests that the real fight, not just for survival, but for individuality, is only beginning. Pluribus feels like a perfect blend of sci-fi and dark comedy, driven by Seehorn's powerhouse performance and Gilligan's slow burn storytelling. The premiere gives us just enough to be hooked while leaving us desperate for answers. It's eerie, smart, and surprisingly funny, a reminder that the scariest thing isn't always aliens taking over your body, but losing the ability to think for yourself.